Greetings, Nimrods. So getting back to this Stihl 028 AV. Last we left off, we had felt a tremor in the force, and we were concerned that maybe, even though I did a pressure test or a vacuum test on it, that maybe the oil seals were leaking, because that vacuum test was a little elusive. It seemed like it might have not been holding. So we broke it all down again, got our rubber behind the carburetor and the exhaust, and put this on the impulse line and pulled a vacuum, and it's holding fine. So I took all this apart, all the clutch and the flywheel off, so we could take a look at the oil seals on the crank and replace them if necessary. So the vacuum test seems to be holding fine. So maybe we won't need these oil seals. Last time we used this vacuum gauge, we were making hand sanitizer. Remember that? So now we put a little pressure on it and spray some soap and look for bubbles, and didn't find any. So the pressure test seems to be okay too. So maybe I was imagining things. Maybe I just didn't do a good tune on it. Maybe I had some bad fuel. So we're gonna have to put this all back together now and see what happens. And before I do that, I might as well show you the where we put this little bits of rubber roofing in here to accomplish our vacuum test and our pressure test. So obviously one is behind the carburetor here, and in front of the baffle between the carburetor and the cylinder. So there's one, and what I do is I just mark it, and if you have a paper punch, that works well for punching for the little stud holes on the carburetor. Same thing with the exhaust. I'm doing this real fast because I know I don't want you to click away. I want you to keep watching. Hey, we're going to have an interesting thing at the end of this. Is a special feature, because remember, we'll talk about the other saw that we got distracted by when we started working on this. So we were taking the exhaust off, and we'll see how that little bit of rubber roofing goes between the muffler and the exhaust port. There it is. Take that out, put that aside. Now I'll put this whole thing back together. There it is, back together again, and it seemed to be running okay. I started it up and hemorrhaging oil there. We're not going to need the oiler for what we're going to end up using this for now. Same thing with the bar and chain. Still haven't sharpened it. So if you remember, we got distracted by that other saw when we started this, the 041 here, Farm Boss. Not an AV. That's one thing I'm learning. If it's not AV, it's not for me. I already got a problem with the recoil spring on it, so I'm going to have to go back into that. And the other thing I don't like about this is, so I did get this running, but to tune it, the carburetor tuning screws are right above the exhaust, so you get blasted when you're trying to tune this thing, and I don't like it. And it also vibrates like crazy. So we're going back to the AV here, the 028, and we're going to use that for the intended purpose that we had sort of thought we were going to use that 41 for. And you're just going to have to wait to find out what that purpose is. So you're going to look for an upcoming video on what we're going to use that 028 for. So make sure you check back in, and as always, like, share, and subscribe. Remember, Nimrod wants you to subscribe. Happy hunting, Nimrods.